again, welcome everybody to the Canada Specialist Program webinar series. First presenter today is Natalia, Destination Vancouver's External Relations Specialist, who I did see in person in Vancouver a few weeks ago. So it's lovely to have you on, Natalia. How are you doing?
That's right. Really well, really well. Charlie, it was great meeting you a few weeks ago too. I hope you're having fun in the UK as well. It's much fun as you had here in Vancouver and in Canada.
Yeah, thank you. So tell us a bit about what is happening in Vancouver right now.
Well, you know, Vancouver is a four-year year-round destination with four distinct seasons, but of course we're in spring right now, and we've got sort of our mild temperatures happening anywhere between 10 and 18 degrees or so. It's a great time of the year to explore the city, and you know, I'll show you a couple of really nice pictures here. We've got our cherry blossoms out right now. You know, back in the 1930s, a couple of mayors from Japan, from Kobe and Yokohama, gifted the city of Vancouver over 500 cherry blossoms. And now we have 40,000 and counting all over the city. And they bloom between end of March and end of April. So it's a great time to visit. We also have our Cherry Blossom Festival happening, and it's a really great way to, you know, check out different events that are happening. There's like guided bike tours that you can do in the city, guided walking tours, and these are free to attend. So it's fun. If you're planning a trip for that time of year, I definitely recommend including something to do with cherry blossoms.
Yeah, beautiful. Loving those pictures and really love that connection with Japan and how, you know, the trees came about. That's a cool story. So also we're talking about food today, right? So last fall, last autumn, Vancouver became a Michelin Guide destination. Very exciting. What does that mean for the city?
You know, exactly. Last October, it was the inaugural restaurants that were picked by Michelin were announced, and we have 8 one-star restaurants that were announced, 12 Bib Gourmand restaurants, and 40 eateries that were recommended. And really what this means is that, you know, Vancouver has long enjoyed a great culinary scene, but now having the Michelin Guide really further elevates the city's reputation as a global dining destination. So we're really excited about that. And let's see, I'll move my slides along here. Yeah, so Vancouver really is a foodie city, and there's diversity in the types of foods that we have. It's a very eclectic mix that we have throughout all of our neighborhoods.
Yeah, and there are so many great and diverse neighborhoods throughout the city. Just can you tell us a bit about some of the interesting neighborhoods that you have?
Absolutely, yeah. So, well, in this picture here, you can see the downtown core of Vancouver. And today I'm going to highlight 3 of the neighborhoods that are right in the downtown area, which are Gastown, Chinatown, and Yaletown for us. And you can see them 2 at the top there, 1 towards the bottom. So Vancouver's Chinatown was established back in the 1890s, and it's the 3rd largest Chinatown in North America after New York City's and San Francisco's. You know, Chinatown's a really interesting area in Vancouver. It's definitely worth exploring, and its history dates back to the early days when most of the people living in the area were working for the railway. Gastown, of course, is our historic part of the city, and in recent years it has evolved into a really hip and trendy area, lots of boutiques, restaurants, lounges, and bars too. And the Yaletown neighborhood is a great area to explore. It's an old warehouse district, and it has become one of the sort of chic neighborhoods, and especially for dining. So I highly recommend that you mention that to your clients for great restaurants, lounges, and even clubs in the area. I'll talk a little bit more about Chinatown and some of my recommendations in terms of dining too. So like I said, you know, Chinatown is a historic part of the city. It has great specialty stores, tea shops, bakeries, and of course, a great dining scene. So I thought I would highlight a couple of my favorites. Floata Seafood Restaurant, for example, is the largest Chinese restaurant in Canada. And it's really a great place to go for an authentic family meal. There's the Torafuku, if you're looking for a little bit of an elevated experience with Chinese dining. They're using a lot of Pan-Asian flavors and focusing on really sustainable food in our city. So that's really exciting. And then in the heart of Chinatown, there's also Juke Fried Chicken, for example, that offers great Southern style chicken and ribs, and it's a really fun place to go. Now in Gastown, we also have some great dining options. It is the oldest neighborhood. It kind of oozes with historic charm and an independent spirit. It's really a favorite spot for locals and tourists. So I recommend that you mention people come and enjoy an afternoon in Gastown. L'Abattoir, the restaurant right there in the middle, is really fun. It mixes, you know, French influences it into their West Coast experience for a dining menu. Taco Fino is a great place to go, a little more casual, fresh, affordable, eclectic sort of Mexican take on Mexican-inspired cuisine, I guess. And if you're craving for Italian, Ask for Luigi is really great. It's a great option. It's a cute little white house in a corner, and it focuses on freshly made pasta served family style. It also has a fantastic brunch. So if you have clients going there on the weekend, definitely mention that to them to visit Ask for Luigi. And then in a very interesting historic building on the edge of Gastown, you can find Bellegarde Kitchen. And it's a great place, again, for a meal, but also for wine tastings and beer flights from their own Vancouver urban winery. So I recommend that one too. And in Yaletown, I'll talk a little bit about some of my favorite places too. Now, the neighborhood was once the terminus of the Canadian Pacific Railway and was the warehouse district of the city, but it really has been transformed with great sidewalk cafes, great restaurants, and loft spaces. So it's a great place to just kind of walk around. For a really fun and elevated sort of seafood experience, I would recommend a Blue Water Cafe for their fresh and sustainable local fin and shellfish that they showcase. Minami Restaurant is a great take on, it's a nice mix of West Coast fare with Japanese techniques. I love their varied seasonal menu that they have. And you can always go a little bit more casual too. One of my favorites is the Yaletown Brew Pub. It's one of the original restaurants from the area, and the food's fantastic. The beer is even better. So it's a fun place to go. And Cap on the Spritz is at the Opus Hotel. It offers great dining too.
So many food. I think it's making you hungry. All these awesome pictures of food are making me pretty hungry.
Right.
And I have asked Natalia as well to put these into a bit of a summary in the follow-up, so you can, you don't have to remember all these restaurants right now.
Right. Yeah.
Also, if you're a foodie, another great way is to join a food tour. So what food tours do you have in Vancouver?
Well, we have quite a few, but of course, a great place to start the Vancouver culinary scene, to look into what's available here is to check out the Granville Island Market and Granville Island in general, which is a beautiful area with artisan studios, galleries. You can stop in for a coffee or an island brewed beer as well. But the market, which was the next picture here, is a great place for lunch too. So often we say you can easily spend 2 to 3 hours at Granville Island in between both. And one of the great foodie tours that Granville Island has is run by Vancouver Foodie Tours. You may have heard of them. They are in Forbes' top 9 food tours in the world, so that's really exciting. The 2-hour tasting of the Granville Island Market is a really great way to learn about the different vendors that are on the island. The foodie guides are very knowledgeable, and you'll eat really well too. So it's a great recommendation for your clients. Vancouver Foodie Tours also runs a few other tours. The Authentic Asian Eats tour is done in Richmond, and it starts off with a really wonderful lunch, and then they do a few other stops in the Richmond area where you can really experience, fantastic Chinese cuisine. And I just spoke with Michelle, the owner of Foodie Tours, a couple of weeks ago, where she told me that she was relaunching the gastronomic Gastown tour. So we're very excited about that one. This one it's a 2.5-hour tasting, right? 2.5 to 3 hour tasting, and it focuses on 3 spots. So it's really a progressive dining experience. And it really just kind of could be considered, a dinner as well, if you don't mind having an early dinner. And the tours are starting on May 1st. So we're really happy about
that's
that.
so exciting. That one's coming back. I have done a couple of the Vancouver foodie tours, not the Gastown one. So exciting to have that back. And Michelle, Vancouver foodie tours are actually coming on the webinar series in a couple of months. So we'll hear from them as well. But there is another company.
Yes, I do want to mention Taste Vancouver Food Tours does a really great Gastown food tour as well. This one is a 2.5-hour experience where it mixes culinary and history really well. So it's a great way to learn about the area, as well as, you're stopping at 8 different places to eat. There's different food tastings. The portions are very generous. 3 alcoholic tastings are included in that one as well. And because they start at 4, this one really can definitely double as dinner, right? Because it will end at around 7 p.m.
Oh, yeah, sounds like a plan. Just we're tying in a bit of sustainability chat to updates as well. So I know that within the food scene, you have a sustainability program in terms of the seafood. Tell us a bit about that.
That's right. Yeah. So, overfishing is one of the biggest threats for our oceans, that they face today. And what we have is the ocean-wise symbol, which is next to seafood items on menus all over the city. And it really is just the assurance that it is an ocean-friendly choice and that the seafood your clients are eating has been sustainably caught and prepared. And there are over 700 ocean-wise partners with thousands of locations in Canada. So we're really excited that a lot of the Vancouver restaurants participate as well.
Thank you. Loving that inspiration from spring and food. What else? What other resources do you have? What can you share with us?
Well, I want to make sure that I mention that we have our Vancouver Specialist program that was relaunched in November. It's, we really encourage everybody to complete the program. It's available in English and Spanish. It's 8 courses that really focus on key information about the city. It has been revamped. So if you've done it in the past, our old program was started about 11 years ago. So we really needed an update. So we're very excited to have it. And it's been redone, updated. It has also, you have access to exclusive webinars. And of course, our destination experience pass. So if you're coming to Vancouver to visit, we would extend your destination experience pass to you and a guest, and it gives you complimentary entrance to a lot of the top attractions in the city. And of course, you get access to our logo, you get our certificate and fam trip invitations. And we're hoping to get started on those again towards the end of this year. So stay tuned for that.
Awesome. So many reasons. If you're not a Vancouver specialist already, yeah, great program. The Experience Pass is amazing for when you visit yourselves. So yeah, definitely get onto it. Thank you so much, Natalia. Anything you just want to leave us with?
No, here's my contact info. So if you want to reach out and you have questions about a client's, plan or anything like that, let us know. We do also, actually, I do want to mention that we do have some themed itineraries on our website. I'll put the links in the chat box.
Yeah, awesome. And the Vancouver Specialist Program link as well, please. Yeah, put them in the chat. Okay, we'll move on. Thank you so much, Natalia. She will be back at the end.